Hello angel babies, welcome back. My name is Trisha. Welcome to my channel. I'm a mystic and intuitive tarot reader. Today we are just going to see what the cards have to tell us. I've been feeling an energy of surrender. So let's surrender to what the cards have to tell us. We're going to start with these oracle cards. See what they have to tell us. This one wants to come out. Oak tree, power, courage, and strength. This is such a cool image that has this like acorn underneath the tree. It's like there's a whole world underneath everything that you can see up above. It's making me feel that although people might be able to see some of what's going on in your life, they don't know the true power that you carry. They might not be able to see all of the work that you have been doing throughout your life. That you might think that things aren't manifesting in the way that you think that they should, or in the timing that you think that they should, that you might have these expectations, but actually not only are they completely manifesting way more than you may realize, but there's also this entire inner world that people are going to start to have more access to because you are allowing it, because you have cultivated this beautiful, rich inner world. That your maladaptive daydreaming, as some people might call it, is really this like beautiful imagination and ability to transform your darkest, most challenging, karmic, traumatic moments into power and courage and strength, into something that other people would have given up by now, but you haven't given up. That when it comes to the littlest things, like things going wrong in your day, that you can feel those emotions and then channel them towards like getting back up on your feet and going again. That of course you're going to feel discouraged in some moments, but you always return back to that power, that inner power. Butterfly, transformation, joy, beauty, and transience. I've been seeing a lot of monarch butterflies on my walks lately, and there's this word that's been coming up around resilience. I think that you are showing so much resilience towards the things that have been coming up in your path, that when you are experiencing something challenging, something that you perhaps wouldn't rather experience, you meet it head on with you're like very, you have this way of transforming it. And that doesn't mean that you aren't going to get angry or feel sad or feel the grief and the frustration or whatever it is that comes up, but you're still like using that emotion to be the fuel. You're flipping it around and turning it into joy and beauty and abundance. That it's going to spread out from you as well. I'm noticing like there's kind of this like light and radiance around the butterfly. And even if, like this card, you don't recognize how your energy is influencing people, just by being around you, they can feel the difference from being in your vicinity. You walk in the room and they're like, whoa, something's different here. You light up the spaces around you. And even when you are feeling sad or scared or confused or frustrated or whatever, that doesn't mean that you don't still light up a room around you, because you carry it with power. You carry it with an understanding that things are continuously changing, that this isn't your forever moment. There is a surrender to the experience because you're trusting the process. You're trusting that no matter what you're feeling in that present moment, even if it is something like happiness or joy or like a lighter emotion, that will also pass. So you're experiencing it more fully. Pine tree, another tree. Vitality, longevity, and perseverance. Another like word about like endurance, and I think sometimes that can feel like drudgery or like, when is this going to end? But you're doing it with vitality, and again with that, like this one has the pine cone, this one has the acorn underneath it. And these are the seeds that you've planted long before now, and they're reaping their rewards. That all along the way, every single day, you're doing things with the way that you love yourself and the way that you give love to other people, and it's constantly coming back to you. And the more that you are noticing it, the more you're like, oh yeah, when I did that thing years ago, I can see how that's paying itself forward to me now. And it is increasing your feeling of vitality in even like the way that you look to yourself in the mirror. Not necessarily like all of a sudden you have a new face, but it's like you are glowing differently, because our energy really does affect the way that we look. It affects the way that we come across to people. I'm having some throat chakra clearing, or that wants to clear. So maybe you've been feeling like you have something that you want to get off your chest, that you want to say and express, whether through writing in your journal, speaking it to some, like a friend or a family member, or even just to yourself, like speaking out loud, having conversations with yourself, that you're finding ways to really be heard, but not from a place of neediness, a place of like trying to chase something, but a place of stillness, a place of, I know my own worth. I know that I deserve to be heard, that I have this power within me, and that my words carry that. Whether I speak with love or I speak with malice. Interesting word, malice. Okay. I'm wanting to read both oak tree and pine tree because we had that pairing of the two trees. Oak tree. The oak tree is a popular symbol of strength. The wood is dense and durable, reliable and long-lasting. This tree symbolizes power and bravery, telling you that you can stand up to whatever storm is on the horizon. The mighty oak begins as a tiny acorn. More energy. It is reassuring to know that something so immense and strong started out as something that you can hold between two fingers. Not only does it remind us that small things can yield huge results, it also reminds us that growing takes time. Rapid growth uses energy to reach a goal quickly. Slow growth uses energy to ensure stable, strong development. The oak tree card urges you to be brave and to stand tall. Reflection. Is there something you've been avoiding because of the fear of confrontation? Interesting. That's kind of connected to what I was saying about the throat chakra. Maybe you have something that you've been wanting to get off your chest. I was noticing while we were reading this just about, again, that feeling of pacing yourself, that sometimes we feel like we have to go at the speed of our culture, our society that says consume all of this at this intense rate, which can feel like drinking from a fire hose, which you cannot possibly consume all of that at that rate and then integrate that at it's not reasonable. And you are learning now to consume things that align with your energy and then integrate those at a pace. The wind is picking up right now. Integrate those at a pace that feels like it's attuned and aligned with you, that it feels peaceful. I really enjoy the book Anne of Green Gables, and I will sometimes like imagine in my mind that world of slow living and community and just going on walks, and that most of their life was revolved around making food, cleaning, talking to people. And I'm not saying that that's exactly what your life needs to look like. We can go to extremes, but I think that you're finding a way to incorporate more of the things that you truly value. The things that have the atmosphere of whatever cozy means to you, or whatever vibe excites you. That when you picture something in your mind of like your dream world, your dream life, that you're starting to cultivate that with the things that you wear and the things that you say, the things that you eat, the music that you listen to. All of these little details in your life are starting to add together to create the set of your life. That you're treating your home and your car and each piece of your life like it is the atmosphere and the setting of the life that you want to live. Okay, let's see what pine tree says. The pine tree is a symbol of life enduring, the promise that even if things seem dark, it's not over. Some kinds of pine trees have root systems that are centuries old. And while a single tree may die, the established root system can introduce a new seedling to replace it. The rejuvenation cycle tells us that even when something appears to be dead or finished, there are still roots alive. Nothing is ever truly gone. Don't give up on it. Pine is a popular building material. It absorbs shock, is resistant to excessive swelling and shrinking, and although it dents easily, it is long-lasting. The pine tree card tells you to hang in there. Life may be knocking you around a bit, but even dented, you're reliable and can last longer than you think. I'm feeling that. I can tell that you are sensitive and you have such a loving, big heart that sometimes when life is knocking you around, like this is saying, when it's throwing you a lot of things in your path all at once, or things aren't going in the direction that you expected, it can feel like you are doing something wrong. And this card, this reading is reminding you that you're right where you need to be, first of all, and that you are an old soul, that you have so much wisdom in your roots, in your seeds, in the fabric of your soul, in your being. And it is guiding you even if you feel like you're being thrown off of your path, that you're not. Like all of these things, all of these course corrections, or what might feel like you're being rerouted all the time, are going to lead you exactly where you want to go, that you are going to end up somewhere even better than you could imagine. You might feel like when you're going through all of these different little bumps in the road, big bumps in the road, going through all these hurdles, that you want to be done. Give up, exit, surrender, and that's the point. That all of these things, all of these mini or big towers are showing you it's okay to let go. And it can feel so scary, overwhelming, because we want to have control. We want to hold on for dear life. But this is telling you it's okay to let go. It's okay to surrender. Oh, bottom of the deck. 5 of Pentacles. Maybe you've been feeling a little bit like you would really like to get out of the storm that you're in. And the answer is that the building, wherever it is that you want to go, it's right there. You can go inside. I'm thinking of something about like castles in your mind, or like building something, constructing it. It goes back to the like that you have this like very vivid inner world, constructing a safe harbor for yourself, that you can construct that, and that you are constructing that in your external reality as well. That what once was unsafe for you, maybe as a child or somewhere along your journey, things felt really unsafe. You're teaching yourself now that, hey, look around you at all of this safety. You're creating a lot more beauty and peace in just the littlest details, as simple as drinking some tea in the morning and savoring the warmth of the cup while you're holding it. I have been pulling the Devil card in the last like 5 readings. There's something in this collective that your shadows are not leaving you alone. And they really want you to listen. And it's something also to do with your inner child. That your inner child is saying, hey, let's slow down and let's play, and you don't have to go so fast anymore. That you might have this feeling of go, 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 go. It kind of feels like maybe you need to like be running on this hamster wheel, or just like a really busy feeling. It's almost like the rabbit from, is it from Alice in Wonderland? He's like, you're late for a very important date, that's just like following you around with the little clock, like, come on, hurry up, all the time. And you are starting to acknowledge this part of you more, this shadow in you, the shadow aspect that maybe you ignored for a while, or just like running so frantically that while yes, it was running you, it was pushing you forward, you weren't in very good communication with each other. It's making me think of like when you see like 2 people who maybe they're friends or their spouses, and like, well, yes, they spent time together, a lot of time together, they don't really communicate very well. So this part, it's running, telling you to keep running. And finally, you look over at this part, and this part looks at you, and you're acknowledging each other, and you're like, hey, wait, why are we doing this again? And this part's like, oh, thank goodness. Like, I didn't want to do this either. And you come up with a new solution as to how you're going to manage or spend your time. But it doesn't need to be so strategic and obsessive. It can be a lot more gentle and following your cycles and the flow of your energy. And that's just one example. There could be other shadows that are shadow aspects, or parts of you that have just felt like they want your attention, or they were in the periphery of your awareness, and now they're coming into front and center and receiving more of your attention and feeling grateful for that. Because as much as we want to, or not even want to, but sometimes just don't even realize that we are avoiding our shadows, they always catch up to us. They're always there. And the other card that came out was Temperance, that you're finding more balance, more. I love this visualization of Temperance because it's showing on one side the cupcakes and the martini glass, and on the other side it has the carrots. It has her balancing in the tree pose, and she has like one eye open and one eye closed. It's very much showing this whole aspect, or like all of the human experience. That balance doesn't mean that you're just completely in Zen, not ever emotional or ever experiencing life. In fact, it's more the opposite, that you're just riding the waves of the human experience, allowing yourself to feel whatever it is that comes up, but not feeling so attached to it. You're able to surrender and trust that this too shall pass. Okay, what else does this collective need to know about surrender and finding more peace? Interesting. Both the 7 and 8 of Wands came out. I think that this is some validation for you. Just that if you're in the midst of the storm, in the midst of the what feels like chaos, don't worry about it. And that's easier said than done. That if you feel like you're in a shitstorm, if it feels like everything and everyone is attacking you, it's okay that you feel like that. Okay? If it feels like there's a literal tornado coming in, that's okay that you feel like that. And what it's inviting you to do is feel it, let it be there, let those emotions wash over you, release emotions, if you need a good cry, if you need to go for a rage run, if you need to scream into a pillow, if you need whatever emotions it is that need to arise and come up, to feel those in a way that feels safe to you. And then if you can, after you've been able to do that and to feel that, to ask those feelings, those emotions, hello, what are you showing me? What are you inviting me to do now? To tune more into your inner world, to see if there is a shadow coming up that wants to be heard. That all of this purging energy is a sign that your world around you is becoming safer. It's not a sign that you are going backwards or that everything is falling apart. It's a sign that you are letting go of more weight that you had been carrying around, that your body had felt like it needed to hold on to protect you, but is realizing it's okay to let go of it now. Another runner. Oh, 2. Strength. You have so much strength. That was one of the first cards that came. That was the first card that came out. Power, courage, and strength. And the moon. I definitely think that a lot of these astrological events and collective energy might be affecting you more than you realize. And it's okay to get whimsical about it. That if you feel so inclined to turn some of these seasons of your life, whether it be to get more in tune with the cycles of the moon, if that calls to you, or create a seasonal ritual of some sort, whether that's something that you already do and that you're going to enhance it in some way, that give yourself something to look forward to, is what I'm trying to say, is what this card is inviting you to do. That as you're in this deep reflection, your inner child and your shadows, they aren't just telling you to suffer. That's not really what they want. In fact, all of this purging that's happening and release, it's actually clearing the way for you to feel a lot lighter. And I'm noticing the witch flying across the moon, that you're going to feel that vitality come back to you, that you're going to feel your own power and remember, oh hey, I am actually really awesome, and be reconnected to a lot of the things that you had forgotten were a part of you. That when you do connect to those inner wounds and the shadows and flip them around to be your power, to be your comrades, I don't know why that's the word that once took about, your partners in crime, then you'll be able to start to play and feel more joy in the heaviness, in the introspection. I'm thinking about when a child throws a tantrum, for example, that perhaps, yes, in the moment they are very upset and they're throwing their fists on the ground and screaming and raging, but then after the fact, it's kind of like, okay, well, that's done. Now let's play. And I think that that's some of what you're moving into. And maybe even in the moment of you experiencing this temper tantrum or sobbing, whatever emotion it is that comes up for you, that you're able to have this deep compassion and awareness of your human experience. Okay. For the very last message for you, let's get a spiritual meaning of birds card. A messenger, bird messenger. What do the birds have to say to us? What do they want us to know? I think that you're also really starting to notice that the plants and the animals and all of the people around you are so connected, and you're seeing the magic in it. In ways that you did when you were a child, but also in new ways that maybe you wouldn't have been able to when you were a child because you didn't have the wisdom that you do now. All right, that's our final message. This is the one. Woodpecker. Determination, commitment, and stubbornness. You know, I think that suits you very well. I think that you are very determined, you're committed, and you have a stubbornness behind you. And that will suit you very well for what's coming ahead. Let's read what the message is in the guidebook. I love this community of woodpeckers. I think that you're also finding a group of people who just have a similar vibe to them, and you're not going to have to explain yourself to them. You're not going to have to second guess all of your words all the time, because they just pick up on your energy. They pick up what you're putting down. A woodpecker is a message that you have the key to something. The woodpecker tells you that you can, in fact, access what you thought or believed to be shut away or hidden from you. Your shadow. The woodpecker also advises you to be hard-headed and focused. Work hard and you will get results. Don't be swayed or turned away by what seems to be an impossible task. The woodpecker's stiff tail and well-packed brain suggest that you should brace yourself for what may seem like an impenetrable challenge. But remember, you have the key that will allow you to pass. Where to find the woodpecker. Species of woodpecker are found all over the world except Australia, New Zealand, and the polar regions. Woodpeckers are partial to thickly forested areas, although some species live in treeless areas. I think the part of this that stood out to me is that you have the key. That this entire time you have had access to, or that these things have been within you, and now you are being given access to them because you have, it's almost like, I'm thinking of the word labyrinth, and like you've gone through the different layers of your subconscious, your psyche, your inner world to get to know yourself on such a deep level that now you have this key, these keys to achieve, to create whatever it is that you want to create in the 3D world, that your 5D, your subconscious, the more divine, spiritual, the unseen is now being translated into the 3D reality in a very seamless way for you. Well, that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here. If you have enjoyed this video, if it's been helpful for you, please like, comment, subscribe, check out the links below. Thanks for being here. Love you. Bye.